11:33. Okay, we lied. It wasn't 15 minutes. I apologize. All right. Student liaison. Chris Chop. You're up. Okay.
Since the last board meeting, RMHS has hosted representative visits from, on November 13th, students in the Tomorrow's Teachers course participated in the Bergen County Equity Think Tank. The BCETT is a student-driven experience that tackles issues of equity and belonging in classrooms around the county. Students were able to engage with their peers from across Bergen County, collaborating to design projects that transform their schools into more inclusive communities. On November 15, RMHS held a homecoming dance with a masquerade ball theme. On November 18th, STEM ambassadors welcomed 8th grade students to the high school to preview the offerings and opportunities through the RMHS STEM program. On November 19th, the National Honor Society inducted new members. On November 20th, RMHS held an 8th grade parent night to help 8th grade parents and students transition smoothly into high school and provide important information about what to expect during the pivotal year. On November 21st, RMHS hosted a representative from Latino Promise, a program that helps to ensure the academic and professional success of its senior Latino students through comprehensive academic, social, and financial resources. Then the first week of December, RMHS held instant decision days for Montclair, NJIT, Seton Hall, FDU, William Patterson, and Ramapo College. On December 4th, students were inducted into the newly established academic honor societies, Mu Alpha Theta, Mathematics, English Honor Society, Rho Kappa, Social Studies, and Science Honor Society. On December 9th, Detective Riel Colon from Bureau of Criminal Investigations, BCI, Crime Scene Unit, CSU, visited this forensic science class to teach the students about crime scene investigation. RMHS in our first full week of practices for all athletic teams. This season we are offering boys basketball, girls basketball, indoor track, wrestling for boys and girls. This is the first time in 20 years we have a standalone wrestling program. We have 3 dual meets and 3 quad matches scheduled. We are constantly looking for more matches to provide our wrestlers with enough matches for the season. For Bergen, as of December 8th, first trimester reports are available to view on Genesis Parent Portal. Congratulations to Mrs. Dina O'Brien and Mrs. Robin Merkel Walsh on being named this year's Teacher of the Year and Educational Specialist of the Year. We are incredibly proud of their hard work, dedication, and the positive impact they continue to have on our students and school community. Their commitment to excellence inspires us all. Congratulations to those outstanding educators. Our Bergen Boulevard students recently sent holiday cards to the Richfield Fire Department and EMT. We extend our heartfelt thanks to these wonderful workers for all they do to keep our community safe. Students at Bergen Boulevard will celebrate Holiday Spirit Week from December 15th through December 23rd. On Thursday, December 18th, our first grade parents are invited to join their children in creating gingerbread houses. Thank you to Mrs. Diane Kim for organizing this festive event. On Monday, December 22nd, all students will enjoy 2 short movies, Prep and Landing and Prep and Landing 2. Each student will receive a bag of Skinny Pop. Compliments to the REPTA. Thank you to Mrs. Josephine Mendoza and the REPTA for their generosity. Finally, on Tuesday, December 23rd, Ms. DeJunio will lead our students in the annual holiday sing-along. This is always a joyful event as students love singing and moving along to their favorite holiday songs. Thank you, Mrs. DeJunio. Slocum. December 2nd, they have their 6th through 8th concert. December 3rd, tree lighting for the grade 4. December 10th, the 5th and 6th concert. December 12th, the Heroes and Cool Kids will visit down to Slocum from the RMHS. December 19th, the Learning Center will have their concert. December 22nd, the RMHS Jazz Band will come down to Slocum for a concert. Shaler. In November, Shaler Academy celebrated World Kindness Day and participated in our annual Gratitude Challenge. As part of this initiative, students created thank you holiday cards for local first responders, which were delivered to Councilman Congleton Haley for distribution. On November 26th, we held our Balloons of Broadway, themed Repta Turkey Trot. The students had a great time displaying the parade balloons that they created. Our students also contributed ornaments to be displayed on this year's Borough Holiday Tree. Looking ahead, we will kick off a winter holiday spirit week beginning December 15th and will host our winter holiday dance just before break. Additionally, our Governor's Educator of the Year selection committee met at the end of November to review nominations and select Shaler's new Governor Educator of the Year. I am proud to share that Governor's Educator of the Year at Shaler Academy is Ms. Lorena DeCesio. Sorry. And then that is all.
Thank you, Mr. Char. Nice job. And so on that note, we're going to switch gears. You go first.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our December meeting. Up first, we have a robotics presentation from our students at Slocum Schools. You might recall this group was here last spring. It was the first year we had robotics at Slocum. Some of the students have graduated, moved on to high school. Some have returned to Slocum for year 2. And we have some new students with us as well. These are Slocum kids, grades 6, 7, and 8, under the leadership of Dr. Rees. And we also this year started our high school robotics team just in October, so we're not quite prepared to have them come to a board meeting, but perhaps some point in the future. So I'll pass it off to Dr. Rees if you want to introduce your students or if they're prepared to show us a few things here.
First of all, I want to thank the board, the superintendent, Mr. Yang, and the students and the parents for their patience. I am so proud of both teams. They did very well in 2 competitions. The first competition out of 16 teams, we came in 1st and 2nd place. The second competition out of 45 teams, we came in 7th and 22nd. We missed the championship. Oh, it was heartbreaking. Was the final match? That final match knocked us out of the championship, which would have been this weekend at Mount Olive, competing against 80 teams. So that was heartbreaking.
You'll get them next year. You'll get them next year.
Yes, because I am proud of them. I say this because they have not inherited Mr. Rees' brashness yet. Right. They still humble. I say, sell yourself, guys. No, I'm going to get up here and do it. At Slocum, we have a roster currently between 35 to 40 students on the team. First push this year, they only want 10 members per team. We go out to the competition. So it was difficult trying to see which 10 we're going to select to go out to the competition. The range is from 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade. We had a huge uptake of 6th graders. The 6th graders are really, really interested into robotics. Matter of fact, I looked at the statistics. Of course, I always like the numbers. Well, yeah, about 57% of our team is 6th graders, which is a good feat. The 8th graders did a great job on training them, molding them to 2-team captains. I'm not going to speak forever because I'm going to practice the first core value, which allowed the team captains, Mona and David, to speak and present their findings. I'm just proud of them. I am so, so proud of them. Thank you, guys. Oh, and also, last thing, I'm here to what? Fundraise. We want to fund another team, all right? I know. I see, they didn't inherit the brashness of this team.
Come on, guys. You're part of that team, right?
Hello. All right. Good evening. It's very nice to meet everyone here.
personally, it's my second time at a board meeting, so it's a pleasure to be here and meet everyone face to face, which we only saw on the electronic billboard. So I see Dr. Anemone's name all the time, but I never met him face to face, and it's very nice to meet you. To kick things off, my name is David Wan. I'm currently in 8th grade, and out of the 2 teams, I'm one of the team leaders for that team. Last year initially was one full combined team in which I also led, but we found out that more kids wanted to participate, so we split into 2 different teams, with Mona being the other team leader and picture leader. A basic rundown of robotics. Robotics club is basically just competition. We actively participate in the FLL competition, which stands for First Level League. We're using Legos, hence the name Lego, to build a robot to do certain tasks. There's these 2 robots over here. This is Mona team's robot, and this is our team's robot over here. We designed this robot through trial and error. Last year, we tried to reinvent the wheel and try to get things going, and it didn't end up very well because we didn't know what could go wrong. But this year, after we reiterate on our design, we did research. We searched it up on the internet. We learned from our mistakes. So we built a most efficient robot that we can make as possible for this robot. Usually, for most competitions, you see these 2 obstacles, attachments over here. Most teams in the competition were required to use maybe a dozen, maybe 6 attachments to get the robot actually moving. However, these 2 attachments in its own can basically solve all of these obstacles with just the right code. So our mission was to maximize the efficiency of our robot. And so that's what we did, and that's how we achieved such high scores in the competition, which I'm very proud of our team. Expanding on what Dr. Reese said, we went to 2 competitions. We took first place for the scrimmage, and for the qualifying competition, which we just missed. We got 7th place in the competition. I think we're behind by 5 points. Very, very close. So it was a shame. But here's the thing, it's not the end, because we could always reiterate on our mistakes and expand it into the future. So I hope that the younger grades in my robotics club could use that and capitalize and be much better than this robot that we have this year. One of my active members over here, Solomon and Sean. Sean is a veteran member. He's been here since last year, and he's been coming to every single meeting that we've been hosted. Solomon's a 6th grader. He's a brand new member, but honestly, he's one of the most passionate and the energetic members of honestly that. So I was very happy that when we hosted these meetings, these 2 were usually the prominent ones to show up. So I'm very happy about that. About the robotics meetings, Dr. Reese does not schedule the meetings. We do. When we were the ones who create the meetings, Dr. Reese is just there. He just supervises. He doesn't. I'm not saying he's useless. I'm not saying that might sound like it, but he's there to supervise. I'm saying that it's not your typical club where the teachers are like, hey, come on December 18th, come on December 22nd. It's not that type of club. We, as the members, we all come together and hey, do you want to do this Monday, Tuesday? And we, even though it's really dark outside, even for 6 o'clock, it's winter time. It's very dark. So even though it's very dark outside, we kept talking to Mr. Yang to convince him to stay as late as possible because we have so much passion for the robotics club. We want to maximize our points, our core values, and we want our passion to be out of the sky. If you look at the board over here, you can notice that these attachments are also broken. Over here, right over there, that one's falling apart. It's not because we were just onto the floor. spent so much time on them that they broke by themselves. It's wear and tear, which, if you ask me, really shows something about our dedication, because these are Legos, they don't break easily. So, let's see. Oh yes, all of these missions over here were hand built. We followed the instructions on the Lego website. The robot itself was also hand built. No external guidance. Dr. Reese was there to watch, not to build, which is, I find, as a very valuable experience, because if you always have adults piggybacking on you, then what's the point of having a club based on leadership, right? So, you guys want to say anything? No? I'm going to interview you now. How was your experience with the robotics club, Sullivan?
So far.
ChatGPT response. No, expand on that.
So when I joined robotics, it was really fun and I liked it. So I came today and eventually, I don't know.
Okay. See, he shows his passion. He said that he came every day. He's only in 6th grade. If I was in this robotics club in 6th grade, I don't think I would ever show up to a single meeting. But Solomon's 2 years younger than me, but sometimes I feel like he has more responsibility than me sometimes. So, kudos to that. Sean is what, like I said before, a veteran member, so if you want to say anything, that was your experience with robotics.
Robotics was actually one of the first club I attended to in this school, and like when I was like just in like robotics in the first year, I was like not sure even if I'm gonna take a big part of this group, but I eventually like had like some improvements, and that also like raised my confidence a lot.
Also, speaking of Sean, he was also a very big part on building our robot over here. Sean was also built like one of our piloting designs for our first competition year in robotics. His design is what led to this design over here. Without these two attachments over here were built by him. Because without his attachments, I don't think we would be here right now. So I have to give him a massive thanks because he was responsible for actually getting the robot started. He was responsible for keeping everyone's morale up. So I was genuinely surprised because.
Can we see the new action?
Oh yeah, sure. Take a look.
On the board, I mean.
Oh, board. Oh, my bad.
We do one of the obstacles.
Oh, sure. You guys want to participate? I'm just gonna spectate. You guys are gonna have to do it by yourselves. Have fun. Oh, wait, never mind. Wait, Sean, you can go too. Okay. John, you know what to do, right? Alright. Whenever you're ready, Sean. I mean, so
Could I just ask the team captain to stand to the side so we could get it for people at home? Thank you.
It's the right one, don't worry. Go ahead, send. Ooh, it's. No, that's not. Come on, Sean, I'm here. This is an example of what broke because we hit it so many times. That worked perfectly.
30 seconds to try to accumulate as many points with the 15 missions. It is totally autonomous. The code that they use is Scratch, developed by MIT. Because underneath Scratch is really Python. So they learn in Python. So as I said, they're really good.
We have a second team to hear from?
Yes. Okay. All right.
Okay. Wait, don't we need to do the poster?
No, go.
Just finish it there? Okay, I'm gonna stop yapping now. I'm gonna. I've been speaking way too much, which I like public speaking. So I'm gonna hand it off to Mona, which is our second.
Yeah, we got a future board meeting.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Mona Beydoun, and I am the team captain for Team 72445. It's my first year being a captain, but sadly my last year because I'm graduating. When I first joined robotics, which was last year, at first I was like, I don't know how to code, I don't know how to build. I didn't even expect that I was going to stay for long, but then obviously with all my team members and Mr. Reese and Miss Enceladus, with their help and guidance and with their support, I was able to, me and my team members, we were able to learn like how to code, how to build, and that's when I was like, you know what, I'm staying in robotics. So, obviously, I don't know if you remember me from last year from the board meeting. It was from our first competition, the Submerged competition. We placed 11, as you all know. But this year I felt like we kind of like were more of a faster pace than we were last year. Like for instance, last year we didn't have much of like an advanced robot as we did this year. Like as you can see with our advanced base, our attachments, we didn't like. We learned from last year to make it a little more like advanced. We definitely we placed 22nd this year. Unfortunately, what happened in the competition, there was a malfunction in the robot, like a small malfunction, and that really impacted how our robot went from mission to mission to mission. But definitely we learned from our mistakes. I'm sorry, please bear with me. I have like a quiz the next day, so I'm like a little anxious. And I'm sorry. But anyways, we learned from our mistakes. We all definitely, I want to say my team members, Margis, Aris, Dad, Nermeen, Marjorie, amazing. They all supported each other. They made fantastic effort, like Marjorie here, always coming to robotics with a smile. Nermeen, always, she was actually, with the documentation, she helped document. And she always listened and did everything. See Dad, amazing job with our research project. She really, really put so much effort into the research. Ari, same thing with the innovation project. With the innovation project, helped with the research, and Nargis coming all the time, participating, really helping, contributing with everything that we're doing. We overall, all of them, we all came to meetings. As David mentioned, we plan our meetings. Like we plan our meetings. Like we want to come Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So they all did an amazing job coming to all meetings. Definitely, as you know, we have our next mass shop, which is in spring. We are definitely, since we have plenty of time to help edit code, fix code, make more attachments, because with this competition, we only had like 1 to 2 months, really limited time. This year, hopefully with our next spring competition, we'll do better.
See you, robot.
jump to the other side.
Thank you so much, Dr. Reese, Mr. Yang, all of our students. Good luck in the spring competition, and have a wonderful winter break if I don't see you in the next 2 weeks.
Board, thank you. And I think the summary from
You guys are getting quite some on.
This is strange.
I have two main questions. But also, I would like the link of your future competition. I happened to catch your one at Bergen Charter. I'm really, really happy you guys did so well. But how did you choose teams? Like, you have 30 or 40 students, so how did you divide up into like purple team, blue team? Like, how was that? Did the captains pick, or what was the process?
So, great question. What we did was basically all of us together sat down and we had a whiteboard. We took a vote. Basically, each of us got to choose which team they wanted to be in. And then once they had their answers, we basically just divided and yeah, that was it.
And my second question, is your name Marjorie? I need Marjorie's help for this. So I'd like to know what the veteran members would tell the students in grades 6, 7. Thank you. That's how you're doing it in the back there. For like each year, that is not just repeating the same thing. So what would our veteran members tell the younger students about like coming back next year, being part of the same club, but having a different experience?
She had the better
Sorry,
memory.
I'm also in 6th grade. But you asked her the question.
I just wanted to make sure she got the cue to do the hand thing.
I think you have another question over here.
I have another question. First of all, I got a compliment. I'm blown away with this. I remember when I was a kid, it was like final trains, and that's before. I'm asking, where'd you get those funky shirts? Wow.
Thank you. So I was a designer of the t-shirts and I also part of the animation.
Mr. Yang, you better put that on Soulful's website.
Yeah, I just
Take
actually
people
sent
online.
it to our media specialist. I'm sure they'll post it right away.
Yeah, we put that on the website. Proceeds could go to help fundraise. Mr. Dr. Reed.
Oh, is that what we're doing? Not a
Yes.
bonus.
I'm always for fundraising.
To add on, the way we design the shirts, we use custom ink to help us.
Oh, did you? Thank you, lady.
Thank you very much. Next up, some brief words of appreciation
Just gotta jump behind you.
for the legendary board members in the school history, Ms. Donna Ayers. We have on behalf of the board a small token of appreciation for your 11 years of service. If there's ever a book written about the Ridgefield Public Schools, it will probably be a chapter just for you, just dedicated to you. I don't think the public understands. They see us at a meeting, it's 90 minutes or whatever. But that's the tip of the iceberg. Is community, is reading all great dignity over the course of at least our 2.5 years ago, and I'm sure for the full 11 years. I'm coming down some, so I'm not going to hug you, but I am going to give you a plaque of congratulations.
I'll hug him.
Hold on, can I just get a still picture of you two with the plaque real quick? Thank you. Thank you.
Just so people understand, when you're on the board, it's a trick. I gotta tell you. That's all you have. Yes, sir.
You know, before, all right, I just, if I may, I know the board here a long time, and I respect, I admire how passionate for what we do. And I want to wish you the very best. We've been shoulder to shoulder through some pretty tough times. And also, there's a certain, aside from the niceness, there's a certain inner strength in you with what was thrown at you this cycle. And I respect that. In other words, you kept it up. So we look forward to every time that you come here, and you're always welcome. And I'm sure
You'll be back. I'm just saying.
Thank you, bye.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
My 2 cents is basically thank you for everything. You know I respect you. It won't be the same without you. And I want you back. Yep, that's it. Jackson Park.
Thank you.
You're good. Be quiet because you're sick. You don't feel good. So I'm gonna let you have your rest of the night. You don't have to talk. We have to do board committee reports. Education committee, we didn't meet between the last meeting and this meeting. So we'll just let that go for the next committee. Okay. Operations and finance, Mr. Jacob, we did meet.
Yes, and I thank you for that introduction, Mr. President. All right, on December 3rd, the Operations Finance Committee met, and I'd just like to give the public a snapshot of what we went through. We have a retaining wall project update. And when the contractor determined that additional work is required at the high school building, Premier Building and Construction Management, along with the architect, reviewed the plans and images with the committee and confirmed that a two-phase approach is feasible if the district chooses to proceed within that direction. The district's architect also reviewed the change order, which reflects the contractor's proposed additional scope of work, and the change order cost was $108,500, and the change order will be funded through capital reserve funds. And Mr. Gripper stated that the change order can be approved since the capital reserve account has sufficient funds. And on another note, a health benefits update. Our insurance consultant, the Alamo Insurance Group, sought proposals for medical insurance on the open market. No proposal were received due to, and I'll say it again, due to the district's poor experience rating. Mr. Alamo recommended the district renew participation with the School Employees Health Benefits Program as the only feasible option. And with respect to the impact of Educators Plan Switch, the Alamo Insurance Group sought proposals for prescription insurance on the open market. No proposals were received. Mr. Alamo recommended renewing prescription benefits with Capital RX as it would be the least disruptive operation, despite a renewal rate increase of 31.3%. And as an aside, I want to give our BA, Mr. Hisiano, a compliment because previous renewals, and I'm not funking my word, 60%, we found one for 31.3%. So thank you. Mr. Alamo and Mr. Hisiano committed to continue monitoring the health insurance market and exploring options to save the district money in future renewal cycles. Now, to go to the area of maintenance reserve project, Slocum Skew's gym wall padding is deteriorating and presents a safety issue. I'll underline that, a safety issue for students. Replacement is needed. The district has $16,000 available from the maintenance reserve withdrawal due to savings from a previously completed project. Mr. Hiciano recommended another maintenance reserve withdrawal in the amount of $50,000 to fully fund the Slocum Skew's project. The project would be completed during the December holiday break, and even with the withdrawal, the maintenance reserve account would be still a healthy almost $1 million. So that's the end of my ops report. Now, the good stuff, legislation. All right, the Assembly passed A 4121, which would eliminate the high school graduation proficiency test, which is required under current law to be taken in the 11th grade. The bill would also amend current law to remove various references to the graduation proficiency test, including a requirement that a statewide proficiency test be included in the state or district standards for graduation from the high school, the requirement that an out-of-school youth or adult age 18 or older pass the graduation proficiency test before being granted a state-endorsed diploma, the requirement that school district report cards include information regarding the results of the graduation proficiency test, and the requirement that Renaissance school projects be evaluated on the basis of students' performance on the graduation proficiency test. Now moving on, hold on to your seats. All right, the Senate Education Committee took up for only discussion purposes only S 4861, district consolidation without, say it again, without voter approval. All right, it was heard for discussion and it did not receive a vote. It may return to the Senate Education Committee for consideration in the future. But as introduced, the bill would require the executive county superintendent of schools in each county to establish and submit to the commissioner a consolidation plan to combine all school districts in the county other than the county special services or county VOTEC, vocational school districts. The plan would recommend the consolidation of any school district which has a resident enrollment of less than 500 students and either the establishment or enlargement of all-purpose regional school districts in the county or the establishment or enlargement of limited purpose regional school districts in the county. Then the commission will be required to approve or disapprove the consolidation plan no later than 6 months after the date of receipt of the plan, after which the executive county superintendent would commission a feasibility study. The minimum requirements and assurances of which are listed in the bill for each proposed all-purpose regional district or limited purpose regional district established or enlarged pursuant to the consolidation plan. Now, here we go again, bureaucracy. Following the feasibility plan, the proposed all-purpose regional district or limited purpose regional district would be established or enlarged within 5 or 6 years, dependent upon whether the plan needs to be revised during the feasibility study process. Voter approval would not be required for any such district establishment or enlargement. Additionally, the bill would authorize the executive county superintendent to periodically review shared service arrangements between a school district and another district or municipality, the county, or any other unit of local government. Now, the NJSBA was invited to testify on the bill, and in its comments, the association expressed concerns about numerous aspects of the legislation, most notably the provisions that would bypass voter approval in the consolidation of school districts. While appreciative of the bill's attempts to reduce costs for both districts and taxpayers, the NJSBA is concerned that removing voter approval from the process would disenfranchise voters who would lose the opportunity to decide what is best for them and their community. That's my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jacobs. Board of Ed, Borough Liaison Committee.
May I ask questions about some of the things you reported on? Because we're voting to approve the insurance tonight, I want to make sure I understand clearly. When you said there was a poor rating, was it that like our user experience said that we had poor ratings, so nobody wanted to put in a bid for us?
Yep. Kelvin, let me turn this over to Kelvin.
So basically, we're at a situation where the insurance company is paying out more medical bills for our employees than what they're collecting in premiums. So that's what makes our experience rating bad. So there were basically no insurance company was willing to take us on as a client per se. For this time being, this may change in 6 months, may change in a year. So every year we're just going to analyze and see where we're at.
So it's nothing that, it's not like survey qualitative data that we said like, oh, we hate insurance companies. Like as staff members, it's
based on the usage
supply and
of the
demand
insurance.
and how they're using their
right.
insurance. Gotcha. And so there's really nothing to change to fix that.
No, it's based on our employees' health. So there's some cases that are very severe. You could have 1, 2 cases that are very severe, and that can literally tank your experience.
I just want to bring up a very simple analysis. All right. I'm costing you $1.85. All right, and I'm only getting paid $1. Does it make sense to do business with you?
No.
So therefore, we're basically stuck in where we are. We can't move, and because the key driver is the experience rating. That's the measurement.
Gotcha.
And this is statewide. This is not only
Yeah,
Richmond.
there are many districts that are in the same exact situation, and there are districts that have a better experience rating than us, and they're even having a hard time in, securing proposals from the healthcare providers.
But because we have the state educators health plan, that's like always offered secure. Like they have to at least give us options.
Well, they can't get us out, so.
So they're stuck.
They're stuck with us, and we're stuck with them until things
Operations
change.
Committee has been talking about this since before school started.
I just wanted to make sure I understood what the poor rating was, not that like staff members said,
Yeah,
this
it
sucks,
was
I want
not
to change,
really
and then
our-
nobody signed up to change. Okay. I had another question about the bill on the no more GPA assessment test. So that's moving, but it's not law,
No.
and
I'm
there's
sorry,
no.
in other words, it was taken up by the Assembly Education Committee and passed. Okay, referred. All right, now the next place would be Senate. All right, so that's it, but it has legs. It's moving. Now, it takes 6 years, who knows? All right, but this is a big, in my humble opinion, I'm not an educator. Is it a benefit to remove it? Is it cutting the administrative time? All right, there's a lot of questions, and again, I'm just a reporter. I don't understand it. The rationale behind it, and I would defer to our educators on the board, including yourself.
Well, I know when we have certificates for perfect scores or top scores, we usually have significantly more from GPA than we do from NJSLA. So it kind of seems like they're maybe eliminating the wrong test for our profile, because we have historically done very well in GPA and improving each year. But it is what it is. And then my last question, it's not really a question, it's just a comment on the consolidation that even if board members here think that it won't affect this district because we have more than 500 students, please take a look around at other states, because there's a lot of op-eds coming out about this, and I have caught this in the news, you know, from New Jersey comparing to other states. Regional school districts have their own pros and cons, so if you're asked to support or weigh in or whatever by a political action committee or anything like that, just know.
So you're saying
What
do
the
our
deal
due
is.
diligence,
Yeah.
and do our research.
Yeah, there's a lot of statistical information out there about regional school districts, and depending on your feelings and leanings, it can be pretty scary if you're hard on one side of it, so.
Yeah, but Ms. Hoffman, one thing, in other words, the metric of 500 is mandatory at this point. This is in an exploratory phase. It was only up, there was no vote up for discussion. Now, they're gonna take it up again. This thing could tweak 20 times, we don't know. But this is since watching this is the first time where they're tasking the executive superintendent of the counties to jump in. There's been a conversation for years, regionalization. They've offered study money to see the feasibility, but now all of a sudden, instead of in a laissez-faire type of way, now all of a sudden you're seeing language that is a little bit more specific, identifying the players, the stakeholders. So it's a wait and see. And I'm not going to give my personal opinion, but it is a wait and see.
Thank you.
Okay. Next committee up was Board of Ed,
Sorry about that.
Borough Liaison Committee.
So we had a meeting on December 3rd, and it was our first meeting since the last two board meetings. We didn't have we didn't have like a report for the last board meeting. So that same day, Mr. Hisiano and Dr. Anamone had met with Frank and Ray, Mr. Alinio and Mr. Ramirez from the Borough Hall. So they talked about, there was some leftover money, as they had previously reported, and we had previously reported from this committee. Willis Field did come in under budget, so some of that budget for leftover money, they looked at some projects that could be used to benefit everybody. And one of the uses of those extra funds was to replace and update scoreboards for the other fields around town, giving specific priority to the baseball scoreboard at Veterans Field. And also, it's not projected that the scoreboard update will use all of the extra funds. So there may be some left over to use towards some other projects in terms of athletics and shared spaces between the town and the borough. The field has been getting requests for renting out, and the first rental agreement starts for January under the new fee schedule, which was previously reported. One has already been approved out of the 4 requests because it is a joint effort that both parties from the borough and the board have to both approve it before the dates are put on the calendar. Most of the requests are for soccer leagues to use it, and one nonprofit, it just said field athletic use, kind of general. There's been no negative feedback about the process from any of the approving parties involved, so it seems like the kind of combined, it kicks from the board over to the borough, then back to the board, then gets put on the calendar permanently. It seems like that process, although it's multi-step, does seem to be working, that everybody's on the same page and everybody's aware of what's going on. The process was reiterated with the various members of the committee to make sure that they understood about how long a request would take and what the requesters could expect if they're submitting a request. Also, the Class 3 officers are looking at a 2.5% increase, which is pretty standard with other towns, as well as past practice from this town for the Class 3 officers in each of our school buildings. The CPAG, which is the Special Education Parent Advisory Group, is up and running, and they're looking into maybe having a CPAG representative on different town committees, specifically the Recreation Commission. It was noted that our athletic director, Mr. Romeo, works very well with the town coordinators and the Recreation Committee on joint projects, in addition to the members of central office. There's an adaptive PE grant from the Special Olympics, which I believe is on our agenda tonight to talk about, that Mr. Romeo also worked on, and the town is very excited that that will hopefully be moving forward if we vote on it tonight. Just looking for anything else. So we also discussed the notification of handle with care. So I had to reread my notes to understand what that meant. But basically, if a family is displaced or there's a traumatic event involving a student of the school district, the police officers do reach out to Dr. Adamone and or, I guess the next in command if he's unavailable on a weekend or something. So they kind of just reiterated that process, that the police department works very well, especially the juvenile officer, in notifying the school district, and then the school district also kind of reiterated to the council and board members what services are available if a student does find themselves in distress, that it's important those notifications be made timely and through official channels, rather than like, I heard a rumor, a student is unhoused right now, or I heard a rumor that a student's whole backpack burned in a fire, or something like that. So they just kind of reiterated the process of that step and answered questions for different people. Several members of the town council are planning to come to our reorganization meeting, and we welcome them as well as the rest of the public. Thank you.
The money, where's it going? That's collected from rentals.
So it goes into a joint account, and
Is that
then
for maintenance?
It's supposed to be for maintenance.
Okay.
so it's a special separate account that both parties are able to view the balance on, and then it's when repairs are needed, they come first out of that account before any costs get split between the other parties.
Supposed to happen the original agreement. So through the years, things kind of happened. So now we're back to where we should be. So one other thing with the Board of Ed Liaison Committee, the town council members at the committee meeting asked for the board's opinion about tree lighting versus holiday tree lighting versus Christmas tree lighting. So, Ms. Hoffman and I were there. My response was that I would bring it back to the board, and in discussions, we did state basically, whatever happens, we're going to support the kids for that event. Also, that the two of us could make a decision or an opinion for the board, the whole board should make an opinion. That being said, it's come to my attention that the town council stated that the board already made a decision. I'm going to talk to that camera. If you hear anything that the board does or does not do, or does not want to do, come to a board meeting. Talk to us. Bring it up. Because another issue that came up, and I was at that town council meeting, it was brought up about electric car chargers at Willis. And the response, I don't remember whose response it was, but it was from one of the town council, that the school did not want it. The school was never even asked. So, town council, if you're watching, stops talking about the board, come and get the answer from us. Okay? Because I do not like this board being put in a shadow of we didn't want to do something for the town and we didn't want to do something for the kids. We are here to support the kids. Christmas tree lighting, holiday tree lighting, my personal opinion, I've always known as the tree lighting, and we always knew it was for a Christmas tree. So, town council can do whatever they deem necessary to solve that issue about what it's called. Our students will support it. Our students will go because they enjoy. The fourth graders are happy to go and sing. Now, if you call it something different, and certain parents want to opt out, the parents have that right. And then the children will get graded on something else instead of the tree lighting. So, town council, let's stop saying the board doesn't want something when we weren't even brought up. And the fact that you brought up this whole thing about tree lighting versus holiday tree lighting versus Christmas tree lighting, we didn't talk about it until the last liaison meeting. So let's not put words in the board's mouth that we did not do or we did not say. I would appreciate it, I think everybody on this board would appreciate it, being, and if does this get me elected again, so be it. I've always said what I was on my mind, I've always said the truth, I didn't lie, I didn't state anything. This is the way it is. Let us be the board, let us do what we're supposed to do. Stop putting words in our mouth. I'm done with that. Anything you want to say? You were at that meeting, or you think I'm done?
I just want to reiterate that although Willis is a shared project, the other town events such as the tree lighting, it's a 4th grade field trip. The school district is not a financial partner of that event and does not have a shared services agreement for that event or any specific contracts.
Sorry, I was running off at the mouth. Because part of it was, we have no control over that event. We don't financially support that event. We support that event by letting the 4th grade go and sing and do a concert. But financially, we were never ever asked all these years to supply any kind of funds for that project, that night. So thank you for I forgot totally about that. I kind of ran off at the mouth. So. I'm Italian, I can't help it. All right. International Festival. International Festival. Unfortunately, Mr. Murillo is not here. Committee of the Whole for 5756. Again, we don't have a full board, so unfortunately, we can't do that Committee of the Whole. Did you have something you want there? No, you don't want it. You're good, right? All right. Mr. Child's on this board. He's the student liaison. But if I'm not sitting here, whoever is sitting here, better not forget that they have an opinion, and the whole reason we want them here is to give us an opinion. It's a student body. Don't let anybody tell you you can't talk. Okay? That's why you're here. Yeah, now I'm like going crazy. All right, let's have a motion. Public comments and questions about any item. Or any agenda item, actually. Comments and questions about, I know, I'm all riled up now. Comments and questions about anything. Agenda, anything you want to talk about.
Motion.
Motion, do we got a second?
Second.
Okay, second, third, fourth.
I wasn't loud enough. I said.
All right. Statements made by the individual participants are limited to a duration of 5 minutes unless otherwise announced at the beginning of the discussion. I'm just thinking about, the town council's gonna come after me now. It is what it is. Board urges lunch groups to select one person to represent them. Board reminds those individuals who take the opportunity to speak to please step up to the microphone, identify themselves by name and address. The board may or may not respond to issues raised by members of the public. All comments will be considered and response will be forthcoming if and when appropriate. The board asks all members of the public to be courteous, mindful of the rights of other individuals when speaking. Specifically, the board discourages comments regarding students and employees and will not respond to such comments. Please note that after the public discussion is closed by the president, no other questions or comments from the audience will be permitted. Okay, go ahead, Ms. Don.
Lisa Hoffman, 823 Lincoln Avenue. This is gonna sound like a joke, but I'm dead serious. As I'm on the Richfield pages, I'm seeing a lot of people really bash the school, right? You know, the school is horrible, the testing scores are horrible. I do see that the testing scores are coming up. I do have a sister who is in education, but I myself am not in education. And as I was reading one, I'm gonna call them the trolls, comment, I mean, stuff was misspelled, they couldn't use contractions. We were about maybe like 3rd grade level. I don't know whether or not this person graduated from Richfield High School because it was a fake account. But I kind of thought to myself, like, maybe they shouldn't have graduated, right? Like, maybe they have a point. So my question is, and I'm very serious,
I heard Mr. Jacobs, and I might even be wrong about what you said, so if so, please correct me in your report. Back when I was in school, and this was before No Child Left Behind and everything, if you didn't pass high school, you didn't graduate, right? Now there are other options, and I'm sitting, there, and I'm thinking to myself, like, all right, Dr. Adamo tells me you have kindergartners who aren't coming to school. You can't even get them to show up. Then, I hear parents at the concert, which was amazing last night. I'd love to see everybody out there, helping them. But the parents are saying, I can't get my kids to do my homework, so they just don't, right? So if the parents can't get the kids to do the homework, the teachers can't do it, right? What is the recourse? Like, if, everybody's online kind of smashing the teachers, smashing the admin, the Board of Ed is not in the classroom, they have very little power. If you chose, or even if there was a town referendum, to be like, hey, we want to institute the Mississippi Miracle in Richfield, that if you are not proficient, we're not passing you, would we be sued? Could we legally even do, like, what within, and you might not even know it, because I know that this is kind of a radical question, but like, what can be done? Because I know that the state comes in, and if you look at the state's numbers, and for those who don't know, I think we're number 4 or 5 in the country, and our state numbers are not great, right? What can be done? Like, and I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to. The only thing that I could think of is, if you can't pass this, we do not promote you, and then everybody would be in here suing. Would you have a legal? And I don't even know if we could afford that, right? Because our funding got cut. I truly don't know the answer, so I'm going to kind of put it onto you guys as to what are the legal limitations, and as educators, because I'm not an educator, what are those constraints? And then are they trying to take away not having to pass the 11th grade test altogether?
Ms. Hoffman, what I read out is verbatim, which I got off our NJSBA government relations. I like the interpretation is really not subjective, but they put a lot out. I have to defer to my colleagues that are educators with respect to the impact of eliminating that graduate test. All right, so, what do you have any comments?
Not taking the test?
Yeah, that we're eliminating the,
Like, is that even a Richfield thing? If that's done at the state level, like, do you have any set? Like, if the state says this is what we're doing.
The only thing that I see as, that wouldn't take some kind of, there's, children who wouldn't be able to take those standardized, like our special needs students wouldn't be taking the same thing. Everybody has to have some kind of testing value to bring to what they've completed or what they've done. So removing, taking it away. I don't know if people are not passing or what they. I'm not. They want. I believe as a teacher, as an educator, we want them to do their best. We want them to, pass these exams. But I don't, is the goal to make them pass even though they aren't passing? I don't know. I'm not sure. We don't. I don't know what the answer is. That there's no real response. We don't. What we have in this school or this district or another district is totally different than we can't just. It's not a one size fits all.
No, but in this district, I can tell you from past experience with staff, I've seen if staff has students that aren't passing, they go out of their way. If at home that they can't get their homework done at home, they'll say, you know what, I'll stay another half hour.
But that's
what I mean is,
support. Like
I know,
most of our
but
kids don't do homework at home.
No, but the staff supports it. Well, our staff our staff on their own is an amazing group of individuals. Sure. They are out for the children. They are there in any way, shape, or form to help the kids pass.
Sure.
So they're going to do everything they can, whether it's on that test goes away or not. they're still going to do what they do. They're going to make sure these children are learning. They're going to make sure.
But again, it's not a one-size-fits-all. They're not
No,
all going to do
but
it the
since
same
when has
way.
any
Like
educator in this
this child is
district
going to be able to do it
had a cookie-cutter
quickly.
attitude?
Right, exactly. It's not.
They
you
don't.
cannot-
They
it's like,
do it based upon the student that they have.
mhm.
I've seen it.
Not everybody. It's not the same for everyone.
No, but they do modify what they do to help the students.
Absolutely.
So to your point, when it comes to lawsuits and insurance, when it comes to lawsuits, we have insurance policy.
I mean, I guess my question is, and I'm not saying the staff's not doing their job, right? And I would hope that at every school district you have staff that's doing their job. But if the board or Dr. Adamone, or if the town as a whole got together and did a referendum saying if people are not proficient, we're not going to let them graduate, would that even be legal? Like, what would be the solution? I truly don't know what the solution is, and people online are not, other than bashing, aren't giving solutions, and I'm just saying, is it even legal?
Unfortunately, people bash, and they expect somebody else to come up with a solution.
Dr. DePass wants to say
So
something.
there are high school graduation requirements outside of the graduation proficiency assessment that students have to pass certain classes in order to be eligible for a diploma. 4 years of English, 3 years of math, 4 years of gym, et cetera, et cetera. So with or without a GPA, there are measures to assess that the students have mastered the content standards or the student learning standards and the skills necessary in order to graduate. The GPA does not necessarily measure the instruction that is happening in the classroom. It's more of a standardized type of assessment where some students are able to generalize those skills and some students aren't, which the state understands, so they give schools and students the opportunities to show proficiency in different ways in the event they're unable to show mastery in a standardized assessment. So whether we have that test or not, there's still measures in place to determine whether or not students have shown mastery, or as Mr. Crippa said, our teachers will provide extra help, differentiate, do everything that they can to help the students to show that they have achieved mastery of the skills for that class.
There's always been an alternate path to graduation.
Yes.
No matter what graduation acronym test you use, GPA,
ESPA, HSBT, whatever.
Yep. Minimum basic skills.
Yep.
Going back 20, 30 years. There's
And
always been
just to
alternate
clarify for everybody at home, if you were not to offer those alternate routes to Richfield students, we would be in violation, correct? Because the state says we have to.
Correct.
We as Richfield cannot say,
You have
correct.
to educate the students of the town.
Yes. But what I'm saying is if they meet the other, I just want everybody to understand that if they meet the other criteria, it's not like it's Dr. Adamone or the school board that's saying, well, we're gonna give, these are legal other routes that have to be provided, correct?
It's what the New Jersey Department of Education says that we must do in order for students to show mastery of all the concepts, and they achieve success on all of the different areas to graduate. So the graduation proficiency assessment is one way to do it, or all of those other alternate routes that they're giving us the option of is also a way to show success. So we don't get to choose, hey, you're not gonna, just because you failed GPA, you're not gonna be able to do alternate assessment. That's not our choice. This is what the state says we must do for students to show their mastery.
Thank you for the clarification.
Did you want to say something?
Yes, sorry, he doesn't have experience with this issue, so can he?
You come up to the mic and just say your name and address. You can both come up to the mic if it's easier.
Not speak good English, and need to speak my wife for me. Maybe it's okay for you.
Okay, awesome.
My name is Indiana Jamara.
And your address.
99 Mayor Garden, St. Holmes. Okay. So, I don't know if you discussed this case yet, or are not familiar with the procedures, sorry. But thank you for offering the opportunity to talk to you for the issue that is facing at the work. First of all, prepare the declaration kind for you, so I'm just reading what you prepared in English. We have an amendment for our language. So, I'm glad that my humble contribution has caused the school's administration to align with the state regulation on requirement for a boiler certified custodian in these premises. Earlier this year, I was requested to be the only custodian in the high school on Saturday, while I was not in possession of any boiler certificate. For information, I'm attending boiler training these days. To be noted, my humble contribution has caused a strong negative reaction toward me and my work. I haven't received any documentation to explain the condition of employment on the one page that I signed in June or July, but I guess I never received it anymore. I never received even a formal job description, nor have ever been any communication or training of custodians on various scenarios and how to act on them. I understand that it is requested suspension for 1 day for me because I acted on a situation based on my best understanding on a situation regarding a clogged restaurant. Firstly, that situation, based on my understanding, requires a specialized plumber. Secondly, I informed head custodian via video and text message on the situation, and I got no instructions from head custodian apart from what I have already explained to him. To my understanding, someone in management has initially issued a punishment for 8-hour unpaid work. It seems this punishment is overturned by the superintendent. Anyway, I see no reason for this kind of punishment since school hasn't provided me with job description, failed to provide the students training for special situations, and has caused deep stress to me having someone feeling that I am targeted and issue an 8-hour unpaid work punishment, not based on rules, I believe. I am discriminated against while other custodians are accommodated. The reason I was brought to high school in March this year was to avoid a conflict between head custodian and another custodian. People are mentioned here. I've seen cleaning and security situations that are much worse than the calls that brought against me. Like girls' restrooms in the first floor of a high school and couch restroom at the gym had been non-functional respectively for 2 months, September, October, and 2 weeks in October. On an occasion when the last first floor girls' restroom became unfunctional during a volleyball basketball match, while I was cleaning there, I witnessed girls having no choice but using boys' restroom. I guess having the security that me as custodian was there around cleaning, nothing bad would happen to them. Custodians having angry arguments inside high school, even with students and teachers in the school, 2nd of October. Custodians that smoke in school area, exactly in the paper store during the working hours. So I think these are issues worth a big deal, and thank you and Merry Christmas.
to Douglas Fork, Sussex, will be short and sweet. The REA would also like to recognize Mrs. Narvaez. You have been an outstanding public servant, always doing what's best for students and staff. We deeply appreciate your service, and these are small tokens of our appreciation. I'm also this wasn't supposed to be like this. Make me all teary-eyed and stuff. Thank you so much. Yes, I will. I want to say thank you to everybody, and that's about it because I get really emotional with these things. It's been a pleasure and an honor to sit at the stage. All I ever wanted was to make sure that kids got what they deserve, and that's it.
Now everyone at home is going to say you made a board member cry.
I'm a crier. I've seen it before.
Alright, so, let's get, I don't know, can I close public comments and questions? Motion, second. We good? Alright, let's have a motion to approve consent items J1 to 09 and Q1 to Q3.
Before we vote, I have some corrections I'd like to submit to the minutes for the November meeting.
Okay.
Do you want me to go through them? Okay. So in the liaison report, it says that I said the NHS was working with the Ridgefield Public Library, but it's actually the Little Free Libraries of Ridgefield, of which there are currently 4, and 3 of them participated in that project. The public library, while they were aware of the project, was not a sponsor of the project. It was page 4 of the PDF minutes. I'm not sure exactly which section it was. But it mentions that I abstained on one of the things in the consent agenda. I did not abstain, I recused, and I did watch the video to make sure. So just so that everybody knows where I'm coming from, it's my understanding that an abstention is just you don't want to vote yay or nay for whatever reason, including, to my dismay, that you just don't feel like it. But a recusal is because it would be considered unethical to cast a vote. And at the time, while it was an abundance of caution, I have a family member working in the same office where the check was going to, and so that's why I recused. I did not abstain, so I'd just like to correct that. Also, Michael Kirk, the assistant marching band director, his address wasn't given, so just for the record, we should get that and put that on record, because everybody else's address is listed publicly. And it said that the marching band is the district's largest recruiting program. I think it should have said the Halloween event by the marching band is their largest recruiting event for the marching band. I believe that's what he meant, but we could reach out to him for
But
that.
the thing is, when you do that, we're supposed to be recording what they said, not what we think they meant.
I think
I get what you're
when
saying.
I watched it,
I know, I get what you're
just
saying,
believe
but
he being like
remember.
paraphrased wrong. So
Well, the meetings don't have to be verbatim either.
But it changes the meaning. Like it changes the meaning of what you said. Oh, sorry.
So I don't know. I mean, to me, when I watched it back, it seemed like he was saying something different.
Wait,
So
listen to what you just said to me. It seemed like he's supposed to write what they say. Not him, but I mean, the recording is supposed to be what they say. Now
Okay.
what we deem what they
Can we
did.
review that section, because I understood that he said something different, so.
I think what she's meaning is that despite the interpretation of the content, the minute should reflect what was actually stated, even if what he stated was wrong. Like if he stated something that he didn't really mean to state, the minute should reflect even that erroneous statement, because that was the statement that he actually made, as opposed to his as opposed to what everyone understood his comment to be.
So I did rewatch it a little while ago, but I believe he said it's our largest recruiting program. Meaning the event in question, like it was unclear, but I believe he meant the Halloween event is our, meaning the marching band's, largest recruiting program.
I think the minute should still reflect what he said verbatim.
Okay.
Even if it's the
Right now, it says the marching band is the district's largest recruiting program, and that's not.
I get your point, but what Francis just said, that's what we have to do. Okay? You got the other changes?
Yes.
Also, there was a second mention of the library card collecting, and once again, it was reported in Twila Hoffman's comment as the Richfield Public Library is accepting donations, which again, it should be the Little Free Libraries of Richfield. And under new business, the motion being seconded by Claudia Narvaez was not recorded the first time, but then when we actually voted, it said the motion was seconded by her in the action. It just wasn't like next to the motion where it normally appears. So I just wanted to correct this.
So you already have a motion for the consent agenda. J1 to 09, Q1 to Q3. Sorry. You already have the motion for the agenda. I have it.
You take the motion to close. Motion to close.
Alright. So, motion to approve the consent agenda. J1 to 09, Q1 to Q3.
Motion.
Second.
Okay, we're back in action now. Go ahead.
Mr. Boric is absent. Mr. Custodian. Mr. Grippa.
To Ms. Hoffman's point, I recuse on K14, K15, K16, and 09.
Ms. Hoffman.
Yes.
Mr. Jacobs.
Yes.
Mr. Morella is absent. Mrs. Narvaez. Motion carries.
Let's take care of that. That should take care of that. New business. New business.
I have a question for our student liaison. You give very detailed reports, and I'm just wondering, are there no, like knowing you're also a member of student council, are there no issues coming up? Or are they not reaching us because like somebody else is fielding the concerns before it gets to a board meeting? Or could you maybe speak a little bit on like how a student complaint would go?
So once a month, the student council goes to every homeroom and asks the students questions about how they feel about these the new things going on in school, such as the Smart Pass, the IDs. Students most of the seniors have complained about the IDs, but we all, Dr. Naller and the administrators always said that's just for safety. And the Smart Pass, not many people have complained. A lot of seniors that I know they like the idea of it, but they just don't like having to open their computer all the time and like smearing their names and everything. And most of the problems that we have is the bathroom smelling a lot. And Dr. Nadler said that they will do something with the custodians and put more air fresheners. Other than that, the students don't have that much complaints. And if anything, they just want more events happening, but the student council is trying to have more events that involve the students.
Thank you.
Alright. That was new enough. Any other new business? No. And could I have a motion to adjourn the meeting of the Board of Education before I say yes or no? Everybody have a good holiday. Enjoy the rest of the month. Enjoy a break.
Likewise.
Stay for cake.
Sure.
Take some, okay.
So don't run out of here. Go by that cake.
Alright. Motion.
Holiday, you know,
Second.
before
Sure,
it's
second.
holiday.
I got a second. I already got